This is a response video to the Beeb, beating the odds with Beeb. And shout out to Beeb, guy I've worked with in the past and that I respect. And I only do response videos to guys that I respect, obviously, and like to dialogue with. So shout out to Beeb. However, I disagree with him on this one. And if you didn't see it, I'll put the link below. He said that Amir Khan will beat Canelo Alvarez this Saturday. And I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. Not even close. In fact, I'm going to put in the title, Canelo Alvarez will destroy Amir Khan, because that's how certain I am that this is a mismatch. And in the video, makes a fair point. Beeb makes a fair point that this size difference on fight night really won't make that big of a difference. That these guys are naturally close to the same weight. Fair enough. Fair enough. However, different guys carry the weight better than others. And Amir Khan, if you look at his resume, he's fought at welterweight. Like we perceive Amir Khan as a welterweight, but he's really only fought at welterweight what 3 or 4 times. Really, his work, his body of work is at junior welterweight. He fought with Algieri, Alexander, Collazo, and I don't remember if the Diaz fight was at welterweight or junior welterweight. I'm not sure, but that's it. That's his welterweight experience. Canelo's been at junior middleweight for how long? Above junior middleweight for how long? And that's beside the point. Let me get down to the nitty gritty. Yes, I went to BoxRec. Yes, I looked up numbers. And quite honestly, I don't think we have to look any deeper than these numbers. And I'll explain why. But if you look at the guys Khan's been fighting since he went on that two fight losing streak and got knocked out viciously to Danny Garcia, they built this guy up the right way and kept him away from punchers. Look at Chris Algieri. All right, feather fisted. We'd all agree on that. 38% KO percentage. We don't have to look deeper into that. And yes, some guys have lower KO percentage because they fought steeper competition. Some guys have higher KO percentage because they fought weaker opposition. But we'd all agree Chris Algieri, not a big puncher. We'd all agree Devin Alexander, not a big puncher. 50% KO percentage, not known as a big puncher. We'd all agree Collazo, 45% KO percentage, not a big puncher. Diaz, 60% KO percentage, the only guy he's really fought since the Garcia fight. I believe he went down in that fight, and in my opinion, he lost that fight close. I watched that fight live, and the scorecards were 114, 113, 115, 113, 115, 112. Close fight. I thought he lost, and he got hurt once or twice in that fight. Molina, 39% KO percentage, not a big puncher. The only guys that I know of that had KO percentage over 60% that he fought was Prescott, 89%, got knocked out. Danny Garcia, 61%, got knocked out. And not only that, those guys, that was at 140. Now we're a little north of junior middleweight, and he's fighting a guy at junior middleweight who can punch. Not the biggest puncher in the world, but he's got pop at junior middleweight. Not only that, he fought Maidana and got hurt in that fight, and that was at 140. Beeb claims that Maidana's a bigger puncher than Canelo. I don't see it. Maybe pound for pound, yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Pound for pound, bigger puncher. But if you stand there and let Maidana hit you, then you stand there and let Canelo hit you, tell me whose punch hurt worse. It's probably going to be Canelo. And not only that, Canelo has fought a diverse group of guys. Cotto, Kirkland, Lara, Angulo, Mayweather, Trout. He's gone out of his way to fight some movers, some guys who can move, some guys with footwork who can box with fast hands. So yeah, Khan has a little bit of a different style, but Khan's not a defensive wizard. He's going to be there to get hit. So I just don't understand The notion that you can look at this fight and you see a guy who was chinny at 140 avoided, I wouldn't say avoided because he wanted big fights, but his team, his handlers avoided punchers at 147. And now he's at 155 against a guy who can punch at 154, 155, whatever weight around there, in and around there. And you're telling me he's going to stand in there for 12 rounds, get hit, and somehow find a way to win a decision against that guy? This guy who's been chinny at 140? Man, that's a bold, bold claim. Woo. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it, Beeb. I mean, you got to give me more than this to convince me. Because saying that Khan has fast hands and Mayweather had fast hands and Mayweather was coming up from the same weight and he gave Canelo a boxing lesson. Dude, Khan is no Mayweather. The styles aren't the same. The talent's not even close. I just don't see it. I don't see it. To stand in there 12 rounds with a guy who can hit. And yes, I'm not going to claim Canelo is freaking Julian Williams in a just put you on a stretcher in one punch. That's not what I'm claiming. But he can punch, and he's the biggest. He is the biggest puncher Khan has faced, in my opinion. If not, he's second. And Khan's not going to go the distance, man. Canelo will destroy Amir Khan, and I stand by my claim that this is a mismatch. And fair enough, the weight's not a huge difference as far as size goes. However, the weight is going to show up on that chin. Believe me, when Khan takes a punch from a guy who weighs north of 170 or around 170 on fight night, whew, he's going down like a tree, timber. And Beeb, you heard it here first.